Hello, this is Jamie183. This is episode 9 of Salvaging Sauber, and this time it is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, my home Grand Prix, so hopefully we can get a good result for my home race. And we got some upgrades here from Chris, or some information, not upgrades. You can just see how bad we still are compared to everyone else. McLaren are getting closer, but Haas have broken away a little bit lately, unfortunately. And last time out in Austria we had a DNF. I decided that it wasn't worth carrying on after I was about a lap behind on everyone. But it looks completely dry in practice, at least for Britain, which is a rarity, even in July when the race is. But onto track acclimatisation, and it looks like it's going to be fully purple almost. But it'll be well enough for the purple score easily. But we get a green score on the final hairpin, which is on the final corner, which is very, very difficult to try and take well, because you just get oversteer, especially in the Sauber. And onto fuel saving, unfortunately. Because of one of my engine parts, which I tried to use for this session, it made all the programs very difficult. So as you can see, no lap time or fuel saving score there for the fuel saving test, and I couldn't really redo it because there was no chance, I was nowhere near it. But now onto the tyre wear. I'm actually well into the green on the tyre wear, but unfortunately I'm half a second down on the delta, so I didn't do that either. And then I decided that it was probably worth changing that part. As you can see, my expected lifespan's 24 laps on the power unit, so I changed it, and now it's 155. It was a turbocharger, which was over 90%. So that is going to help me out. And now onto the end of practice 1, and we're going to go and set just a bit slower than the lap time, unfortunately, the qualifying lap, the qualifying pace test, and into practice 2, the race strategy test then, and it looks like it's going to be quite easily 1.1 seconds over the target time, which is very nice to see, and it's going to be 50 points for that. That's the only practice program we passed, apart from an acclimatisation test, which is quite easy. But then we did end up with over 1,000 points, which was enough to upgrade the chassis again, which is helpful. Because yeah, the chassis on the Sauber is absolutely abysmal, so luckily we're a little bit close to Williams, and that helps out hopefully to catch McLaren. And as you can see, it is absolutely tipping it down in Northamptonshire for Silverstone, and on qualifying it's going to be very, very difficult stuff. This is my second lap in qualifying. My first lap wasn't anything special, but then unfortunately I've lost it, and that's going to be crossing line sideways. Luckily the line is quite close to the start, but yeah, that's not very good, not a good lap at all. That puts the last place as you'd expect, and next lap then, with a few minutes left in the session, I am got another time for another lap after this, but this is going to be a little improvement, like a second up on my 1:49.9, and that will become a lot more through the final corner. And yeah, we set a 1:47.5, but almost lose it into the wall there, which has not gone well. But then I regrouped for that lap and did another lap, but unfortunately it was a bit slower, so it's not going to beat my 1:47.5, and I lose it into the wall just as the session ends actually. So yeah, that only beating Pascal there, but still 19th place. That's a good result for this Sauber. As long as I'm not last, I'm pretty happy, to be honest. And that is, along with me is the Toro Rosso, Sainz, Magnussen and Perez. So that is a difficult session for them. The two McLaren's getting through, which is quite surprising. But now I'll leave Crofty to take down the grid, as Hamilton got pole with Raikkonen in second place.
Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Massa, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Vettel, Stroll, Bottas, Palmer and Roman Grosjean, Ocon, Fiat, Stoffel Van Dorn and Hulkenberg, Alonso, Perez, Carlos Sainz and Kevin Magnussen. As Sauber and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So race strategy looks like quite a simple one-stop strategy, soft onto super soft tyres, as it normally is a one-stop in this game, which is a bit unfortunate because I quite like the different strategies. But let's go straight into the race then. For the Silverstone British Grand Prix, it's going to be 5 red lights in from 19th place on the grid, and it's quite a long hold here, and it's a lights out the way we go, and it looks like a decent start from 19th on the grid. Soft tyres for me, super softs are basically everyone else. Magnussen and Wehrlein choosing them. We're going to go side by side with Magnussen. We're going to try and hold it around the outside of everyone in Abbey. Alonso stopped on the track, though. We're going to have to avoid him very, very late, avoiding action there across the grass, but we've got illegal overtakes, unfortunately. But they've gone now, and we're going to go up the inside of Perez into the next corner, into the loop now. And Perez, unfortunately, has just got the inside line, and he's got the Force India, obviously, which was caught out by the rain, I think. But normally the Force India is a very, very good car, as you probably well know. And now it's down the Wellington Straight for the first time. We're in the slipstream of Perez, but he's got that Mercedes engine, of course. It's going to be difficult to keep up, I reckon. And we getting not too dropped, though, by Perez. And we're going to go diving up the inside of Brooklands, and just about try and get a car on the side. But unfortunately, Perez just about has the high ground, and he's going to hold that 15th place for the time being. But up to 16th on the grid, it's not my best start. It's probably one of my worst starts of the season, to be honest. But now we're going to have to defend Carlos Sainz in 17th at the minute, who's going to go up the inside into Stowe, and Perez is going side by side with Alonso as well, head by head. But Sainz and myself side by side, wheel to wheel, like it was in Austria around the middle sector. Sainz just about goes up the inside in Stowe, which is unfortunate. And now he's going to take the advantage into Vale. Magnus has gone around outside as well, the Dane, and it feels like we've been side by side with him a lot this season as well. But he's just about taking that position. Can we get a good run? We just about get a decent run, but He's done pretty well there and coming up the inside into Abbey. It's very, very difficult to make a move here. We're going to go side by side, a little trim of the corner, but I don't think anyone cares, hopefully. And Magnussen wheel-to-wheel stuff into the next corner, turn 3, and we're going to brake later than him and just about force him out, it looks like. But we're going to be side by side into the loop unless we can just pinch from the apex, and that's exactly what we do, and take that position back up to 17th. But you can see Carlos Sainz has already broken away a lot, and he's now on the back of Alonso, which is a bit unfortunate because normally in the first few laps I like to make progress, but it seems what we're doing here is battling Magnussen. So not too good from my perspective. But the Sauber, this is a track where the car means an awful lot, as Magnussen absolutely bangs around the outside, which is a bit unfortunate. We're going to go over the inside now into the next corner, and it's going to be some wheel-to-wheel stuff, quite literally quite banging wheels there. We're going to do a switchback line though and go up his inside into the final corner, force him out, and that is back up to 17th. But as I was saying, the Silverstone track really does need a good car. Like, it's rare that you see someone outperform their car here. It's a very car-dependent circuit, which is unfortunate because the Sauber is the worst car, as we all know. But now Magnussen on lap 3 down towards Stowe once again is going to go round the outside this time, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel stuff through Stowe with the Dane in the Haas, who we've been side by side with for the majority of the season, it feels like. But Magnussen's gone round the outside. We've got a better exit there. Can we switch to the inside? Yes, we do. Into Vale, and we're just about going to dive up the inside. It's wheel-to-wheel stuff, and we're going to do a switchback line as we did last lap, and Magnussen has to leave us some space on the inside, and that has got us back up into 17th place with Magnussen and Magnussen behind me and Pascal Wehrlein in 19th. I don't know who's 20th. I think they've had an early pit stop, but they must have done because they're nowhere near. And Magnussen's going to go around the outside into Brooklands now. Can we hold him off? And it looks like we just about have for the time being, but we've got a bad run, very bad oversteer run through there. Magnussen's going to go up the inside into Woodcote, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel stuff down the old pit straight, the national pit straight. And he's up the inside, and it's going to be some stuff, side-by-side stuff, but he's got the new Ferrari engine, we've only got the old one, and Magnussen's going to go up the inside into Copse. It's going to be very close stuff, very almost contact made there, throw the hand up in frustration, and Magnussen completely ran me off the road, so I'm going to just keep that position, I don't really care. And Kvyat now, who was the driver who pitted early, is going to go up the inside as well, it looks like, into Copse. Maybe he's trying to run the outside actually, I've not really left any space there, but he's going to try it. And Daniel Kvyat, wow, what a move from the Russian, that is an unbelievable move. I've never seen that sort of thing for an AI, ran the outside of Copse. And I forced off track, but he kept it there, and Kvyat has completely ruined my life there and gone straight on the outside. Not too good for my personal satisfaction, but now a lot of drivers have pitted a few laps later, and Stroll is right behind me, and he's going to go up the inside of Copse, and it's wheel-to-wheel stuff. He completely makes contact and barges me off the track, so I'm just going to retain that position. I don't really care if the AI think I should give it back, but yeah, they've completely barged me off, so I'm going to retain it. And we're on the older tyres, they're in much faster cars, and they've got fresher tyres, so yeah, they're going to have the advantage now through Magus Beckett's 13 and Chapel, and Stroll is going to be in my slipstream down the back straight, down the hanger straight, and he's going to go around the outside of Stowe, and it's going to be very close stuff. The Williams, not the best in the corners, but he's got very good straight on speed, and he's going to go around the outside, and it's obviously better than the Sauber, so that's probably why he can overtake me so easily. We're going to dive at the inside of Vale, where I've actually been to watch Silverstone Grand Prix before in 2011, and now he's going to wheel-to-wheel stuff with Stroll, a little bit of a barging, but no harm done. Stroll is just about taking that position up the inside of the final corner, and now Grosjean is right behind me, but he's actually been overtaken by Ocon now. He's just come out of the pits, and Ocon is going to go very close stuff around the outside of Brooklands. It looks like he's got obviously the Force India top speed, so that's going to be difficult to defend against, and the very fresh soft tyres. We're going to go force off track almost in Brooklands, but still side by side through Woodcote, very, very close stuff with Esteban Ocon, the Frenchman, and it's going to be quite a lot of contact made, but it's alright. And Ocon just about forcing his way through down the national pit straight and up towards Copse. He's got that position now. Grosjean's going to try up the inside as well, it looks like, in his Haas, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel stuff. He has completely barged me off there, and yeah, once again, I'm going to keep it. I don't care, and yeah, that's just how it goes. And Grosjean is going to have the advantage through Maggotts and Beckett's and 13 and Chapel, and unfortunately, I've actually got a decent run, but Ocon through the last stage of it got a much better line. And now down towards Copse again, Stowe rather, and Grosjean is going to go up the inside in the Haas. And we're trying to force him off, but we're trying to squeeze him onto the inside. But there's Hulkenberg also trying on the outside, but Grosjean is side by side. We actually made a little bit of contact because he locked up and went into our side pod, but that wasn't really my fault, so I'm not going to wait for him or anything. But now into the next corner, we're on the wrong line. We've locked up the front left quite badly and missed the apex by an absolute treat. And Grosjean now is going to go up the inside. I've gone very wide, and Grosjean, he's barging me off almost. So we're going to do a switchback line, take a lot of curb, but we've just about taken that position back into 11th place. We're now on to lap 13. Grosjean once again in the DRS zone and the slipstream, go around the outside of Stowe, and I'm going to try and hold it up the inside, but Grosjean with the high downforce of the Haas, and we've made contact. I don't know how I've still got all front wing parts left, but I think we may have lost a slight bit, but unfortunately Grosjean then ran away from me, and Hulkenberg now is the next car just half a lap later. He's going to try and overtake me. He's going to go up the inside of Brooklands, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel stuff with Hulkenberg in his Renault, and it's going to be very close in Woodcote. I'm still alongside there, please leave me space, and he just about does that. and we actually get back on side, even though we look like to have the high ground. But my tyres are getting really worse for wear now. 70% there, you can see, and Hulkenberg just goes around me outside, and unfortunately that Renault is much better than this hour, so he's going to take that position. And now Perez also running outside of Copse, and that is a decent move by him. I've run wide just because this front left is not giving me any grip at all. Sainz has pitted and overtaken me, that's not gone well. And Magnussen also right behind me now. He's going to go to the loop of the inside of the hangar straight down towards Stowe, and he's going to go up the inside on his super soft, so I think he's got another pit stop to make, but I'm not quite sure. And Magnussen is going to go up the inside there, and unfortunately he has taken that position, but and now he's pitted, so we were battling him earlier in the race, but then he pitted, I haven't, and he's making up 20 or 30 seconds or whatever it is in the pit stop here. So that has not gone well for my pace, you can tell, but you can see on the mini map on Verline going through the loop, and that is, he's pitted as well, so that's not going to go well, because I think he's going to the end. Kvyat, meanwhile, is up me inside after he was battling me earlier. He's also pitted and made up that time, so it's really not gone well. I tried to fake up the inside of Brooklands and Woodcote there, but unfortunately Kvyat had the upper hand, and there was no point in me trying to fight that really. And now Alonso is right behind me, so this front left tyre really giving up now. So on 75%, and once they get anywhere near 70, you just lose all grip, and it's really not fun to drive. And I've gone wide at Copse once again, I think the 5th or 6th time this race, but most of the time I've been barshed off by an AI. Alonso's up the inside of Maggots and Beckett's, and he's just about holding it around the outside. Lovely move for the Spaniard there. Obviously doesn't want to be fighting a Sauber because he's a 2-time world champion and one of the best on the grid still, but nevertheless Alonso is down here, and he's just made a very good move on me. So I'm pitting this lap. I've broken the pit limiter board, but oh well. I'm in the pit stops. Van Dorn also is in for his second stop, so is Magnussen, and I'm in for my first stop, so it just shows how little pace I've had this race. I've been battling AI everywhere, and you can see on the mini-map, Verline has pitted and is going to the end on, I think, medium tyres. Oh no, it's soft tyres actually for Verline, so he's managed to do an almighty undercut and is now miles ahead of me. So unless I have a believable pace for the last 10 laps, I'm going to be nowhere near him by the end of this race, but that's unfortunate. Van Dorn we stayed ahead of just about, we're in 19th place now, and I believe that's pretty much we're not going well. But Van Dorn now on the inside of Stowe, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel stuff with the Belgian. He's gone up the inside, but that's a bit unfortunate. We've a little bit extend on Stowe, but only because Van Dorn was in the way, and we're going to dive it back at the inside of Vale. Can we make that one work? And it's going to be very close stuff, and can we do a switch back as we were doing to Grosjean and Magnussen? No, we can't, because we got on the grass a little bit and lost a bit of a straight line speed. But Van Dorn in the McLaren should be quite, if we can just stay with him down the straight, it should be alright to catch. But now Carlos Sainz is out of the race. I think that's a mechanical issue. I've missed my apex because I was reading that message, and now there's a virtual safety car deployed, so that's interesting. Hopefully I can take advantage of it, and we've got a bit of time on the Delta. It's ending now. Can we get a good run on Van Dorn? Yes we can, an unbelievable run, and hopefully it'll end. Yes it has, and that is perfect. Well played by me there, if I do say so myself. And we're up in the inside of Van Dorn into Copse and taking that position back. So yeah, well, very good use of the virtual safety car ending there, as the AI, as Van Dorn was caught napping, and I've managed to take the advantage and get back up into 18th place, as now Sainz has retired, so that's boosted up as a position into 18th, so that's helpful. But now I've got blue flags, I don't quite know who for. But Van Dorn, oh it's Vettel actually, in 3rd place at the minute, so not gone too well for Vettel, but I'll probably be hoping for better. Although he has been being smashed by Raikkonen in his career, and we're going to let him through around the outside, and hopefully, yeah, we've retained that position for Van Dorn luckily, and now on to lap 24, quite a long time later. But Van Dorn really wasn't putting up much of a fight, as his straight line speed is absolutely shocking. But now through Copse once again. Bottas is out. Wow, that's interesting, because he was fighting at the front. But now me and Van Dorn are going to go side by side through the very fast S section, Maggots and Beckett. It's wheel-to-wheel stuff with me and the Belgian in the McLaren. It's very close stuff. The camera, external camera, is giving us a lovely shot of it, and we've just about retained that position. Looks like Van Dorn's got a bit of advantage, but now we're going to go side by side down the hangar straight, and that is us back up into 17th place. Well, it will be 17th when we pass Bottas's retired car, and that has gone pretty well. As Bottas, as the yellow flag up ahead, I think that's where Bottas retired. I think it was a mechanical issue. And yes, it was. You can see him on the left-hand side just about. But now onto the final lap. I got laps. Obviously, it's lap 25, and we're going to finish the race in 17th place. So that's not gone brilliantly, but it could have been worse. Obviously, the retirement has helped us out, but we did manage to beat a McLaren fair and square, really. And we didn't come last, so that's a positive. We got smashed by Verline, so that's not a positive. But onto the podium then. Raikkonen, again, he's going mental, his career mode. It's a Ferrari 1-2 with Hamilton 3rd. And Raikkonen, I think, has won at least 5 races. It might be 6. I think only Monaco has been won by a non-Finnish driver, and that was when Vettel won. So we're now at round 10, yeah, I think it's round 10, and Hamilton still hasn't won a race. So that is interesting, to say the least. But Raikkonen's won about 6 of them, so well done to him. I think he's romping away in the championship as well, so it's going to be hard to beat Raikkonen in his career mode, which is quite odd, because normally Raikkonen's a bit terrible in real life, but that's how it goes. And now onto results then. Verstappen 4th with Ricciardo 5th. Jolyon Palmer in 6th. I'm sorry, this game probably is broken with results like that. And Lance Stroll, Grosjean, Perez and Hulkenberg running out of points. and that is and Valtteri Bottas and Carlos Sainz obviously retiring. Massa not having a very good day out in 15th place, while his teammate Stroll was in 7th. That's a bit odd, but in the championship we dropped behind Palmer, unfortunately, and we're down to 13th place, but obviously those points from earlier in the season really helped us out quite a lot. Into the constructors, we are still 9th after those points I've scored this season, but that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. On the resource points and stuff, we get quite a few of them, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more. This was JY3, and I will see you next time.